All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, and that was a great millstone. And Shalom to hopefully lit. All right, so the title of this video will be Desire the Milk. Right? Desire the milk. So this is inspired, through, of course, the state of Israel today, right? As they, more so Christians, as they often run to Paul's letters, or just Paul, period, when speaking of the fact that he was sent to the Gentiles, right? But that in itself is the mystery, right? Him being sent to the Gentiles, it was such a confusing thing back then, right? As it is today, right? But what people don't understand, Salakia, what people don't understand is really quite simple. If you have been taught correctly, right? And how can you say if you've been taught correctly? If you come into this truth as a newborn babe, right? When people come into this truth, right? If you don't come as a babe, you're gonna be confused. You're gonna be confounded, because you're gonna be trying to pull, you're gonna be trying to pull things from different times, different spaces, different things that you may have learned throughout your years, and try to combine it all, and it's gonna be a big pile of confusion, right? So I'll start here. This is Isaiah 28, and this will be a quick listen because it's only a few precepts on it, or that I have on it, right? But this is Isaiah 28 and 10 or 9. It says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little." So you have to do what? You have to learn how to even grasp these scriptures, right? You have to learn to how to. It's damn near you have to learn how to walk again, right? Because this is a spiritual walk, right? But you must learn how to do these things, right? It says, "Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn for the breast." So you must desire the sincere milk of the word, man. You got to go to the beginning, right? Once you understand, who the law was given to, who are the people that the Lord chose, who the Lord chastised, who, the history. When you go into the history of the diaspora, and how he told us on multiple occasions that we would be scattered, and so on and so forth. When you get the milk, when you get the basics, then it all makes sense. Now, I say that lightly because ultimately the Lord has to open your eyes, right? Because the scriptures tell you he sent a strong delusion, right? He's blinded people. So ultimately, it's all according to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, and him sending his spirit unto you, right? But this is the way to go about it, right? This is 2 Peter. This is where I've been quoting. This is not 2 Peter, this is 1 Peter 2 and 2. It says, "As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby," right? So you have to desire. These are the things that you need, right? You need the basics. You need the beginning thing. You have to relearn all these things that you thought you once knew, right? You can't come to this truth thinking that you got some knowledge. You don't. You gotta understand when you come to this truth, you must realize everything that you had been taught at one point was bullshit. Essentially, if you weren't taught, by one of the elders elders and apostles of GMS, or those who come up under them, meaning those who are affiliated, because most people come up under GMS, but all of them don't teach the correct doctrine, right? But if you teach the 100% truth, the doctrine that GMS has, or if that's what you've learned from, then that's how if you're on the right path, right? But if you haven't, which 100% of us have not, right? Growing up, you have to unlearn all of those things that you learned in the Baptist church, the Catholic church, whether you was a Jehovah's Witness or, whatever you were, Pentecostal, wherever you came from. If you was an atheist, you must unlearn everything you thought you once knew. And you must come in as a babe, man. Or like, if I have this right, right, this is an account of what Yahushua, speaking of children, right, and how you must come into this truth. All right, let me turn this air on, Salaki. It's a little hot. Lord willing, you can still hear me. But this is Matthew 18:3, or I'll start at 1. It says, at the same time came the disciple unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me, right? So what? You must come as a little child. You gotta lose all the pride, everything that you thought that you had figured out. You gotta lose that, unlearn it. You understand? You gotta come to this thing as a child, right? And this is the last one I'll read, because like I said, I spoke about Paul, right? And Paul in his letters, and about the Gentiles, right? The whole misconception of who the Gentiles were that Paul was speaking to, right? This is so 2 Peter 3, and I started 15, right? Because this is Peter himself telling you, I'm as a man, I'm about to speak, but this is him saying, because he probably knew at a time like we are in now, it would continue to be a confusion, because it was already a confusion back then, so it's even more now, right? So this is 2 Peter 3 and 15. It says, and an account, right, yeah, it says, an account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul also according to the wisdom given unto him hath written unto you, as also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest. And that's the importance of being weaned from the milk, drawn from the breast. I think I said that correctly, right? Because if you're a baby and you try to start eating, a steak, you're not gonna be able to digest it. You're unstable. You're unlearned. You're gonna wrestle with that. It's gonna take you, you know, shit. You're not gonna be able to chew it. I was gonna say it's gonna take years, but it's just not gonna happen. You're not going to be able to, because you don't have a foundation, right? To continue the description, it says, as they do also the other scriptures unto their own destruction. So they do this with all of the scriptures, and especially Paul, right? Because they don't understand. And like it says, it leads you to your own destruction. You start to believe lies and fables, and you fall into that strong delusion, like I spoke about earlier, which once again, ultimately, it's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah that brings you into this thing, right? Right? You can't do it of yourself. Right, but that's where prayer and so on and so forth comes from, But Paul's matter of fact, even Paul said these things that he speaks about are a mystery, right? Or they were a mystery at a point in time. This is 1 Corinthians 2, and I might start up. I'll start right where it's at. Verse 7, it says, "But we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High ordained." Let me start from the top. So like it. 1 Corinthians 2 and 7. It says, "But we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory." Right? Skipping down to verse 10, it says, "But the Most High have revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things." Yeah, the deep things of the Most High, man. So these things, they're a mystery. So you can't just be a newly found believer and think that you're just going to go to the book of Romans and be able to understand it, because you're not. Right? You can't pick up a Bible for the first time and go to the book of especially like the books of Revelation, because you're not going to get it. Right? These things have to be taught. You understand? Taught by who? Men that are learned by the elders, as they are worthy of double honor. The prophets. The Lord deals in prophecy. So who better to give you? Matter of fact, I think is that Amos 3? It might be Amos 2. Oh, it is Amos 3 and 7. Amos 3 and 7, it says, "Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets." So you must go to the prophets. The prophets know best. Better than you, I would say. And it's always, the Lord has always dealt with the prophets, right? He's always spoke to his people, using prophets. But again, title of this video, like I said, desire the milk, learn the basics. I think I'm gonna include that in the title too. Desire the milk / learn the basics. So with Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm gonna end this by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to hopefully that.